should do a break before this one. Between sets on 3.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3. Between sets. All right, cool.
That was monotone.
It's an ASMR video. All right, you guys ready to cook? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our another episode of Between Sets Core Sport. We have two buddies today, my two good buddies. This is a lot lighter than recording with my two bosses, so the nerves are a lot less. You guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Jared. I'm a physical therapist.
My name is John, and I came here for ACL Reconstruction post-op.
And I'm Nick Dombroski, everyone's favorite sports rehab specialist. All right, so we want to have John and Jared here because we want to have a little bit of someone that comes in for our rehab, someone that we worked with, and have a PT also here with us to kind of give you a little bit of the background of what a rehab programming and good time we have here at Core Sport. John, I'm going to start off by asking you a question. I'll give you the first question.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to ask you, how did you find us, really? What got you here, other than obviously tearing your ACL? Sorry about that. Been there before, though. I'm going to ask about kind of a little background of your injury, how you came in, what happened, what transpired, kind of what you went through with finding us, and what brought you in here to Core Sport.
Yeah, so I was playing football at the time. It was week 2 during the Thornridge game, my first snap of my senior season. Went out for a block and kind of just went into cut, and it popped right there. So, and then after that, getting the surgery. After surgery, I was recommended through another patient who comes here, who said it was a really fun time. Great, he had a great experience here, and they do everything right here.
Jared, when John came in, obviously a little background on John, just from working with him a couple times. John had a quad tendon graft for his ACL. I'm part of the patellar tendon graft gang. What are some different things, Jared, in terms of rehab when we're dealing with a patellar tendon ACL versus like a quad tendon ACL?
Yeah, so starting with a quad tendon, they usually have to get into deeper knee flexion. Just because they took that tendon from that rectus femoris or part of that quad group, we have to focus on rebuilding a lot of that strength. Compared to that patella tendon where they take it from where the bottom of the patella, where it connects to your tibia, we're not really worried too much about muscle strength. It's more like pain modulation, and we don't have to really worry about that muscle loss in that quad compared to a quad graft.
Yeah, one of the main things that I remember going through my ACL was when they took that wrap off me that first time, my quad was a noodle. I had nothing left. So I know, John, I'm sure, having a quad graft that even shut down your quads even more. You're doing pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, it's getting there.
It's getting there. It looks pretty good.
From 2 months ago, it really kind of...
Do you think there's anything that has to do with you transitioning to working with me more versus working with Jared more in terms of how much the quad has grown?
Right.
I think there is a direct correlation.
I don't mean to, I'm not, Jared's great. I mean, he's phenomenal. He's been an amazing addition to our culture here, and also obviously the physical therapy aspect. I would like to say that he said the last 2 months he's really seen an increase. I think a month and a half ago he came over to my schedule. So I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
Jared and the PTs. So what I do here is I basically put the cherry on top of the physical therapy. Jared and all the PTs here, they do the hard stuff, and I'm not gonna take away from what Jared does. They do the hard. They put up the bones of the house. I've just put up the drywall. You know what I mean? They put up the bones. It's everything. So shout out to all our PTs. They do the hard stuff, and I get to do the fun finishing stuff. That's a lot, I would say, easier than what you guys do for sure.
Yeah, I would say John would rather be doing what he's been doing the past month compared to me pushing on his knee nonstop.
Yeah, so and that kind of brings me into my next point, and this is going to bounce to Jared again. What are 3 key early ACL rehab things that we look for going early? I know just from experience and everything, we can talk about it really firing into extension range of motion, getting the quads firing, normalizing a gait, things like that. What are some of the, going off of those 3 things and then anything else that you have, what are some early things that you really push for in your ACL rehabs?
Kind of similar to what you said. Pushing into that knee extension, gain full range there as soon as we can. I think I spent like probably 10 to 15 minutes, like in the beginning of the session, just pushing on John's knee. He wasn't the biggest fan of that, but we had to get that as fast as possible and as soon as possible. Also working a lot of quad strength, getting that firing again. You know, after that surgery, their quad doesn't really like to be activated. It wants to be protected at all times. And they're in that brace for a long period of time too. So when we get that brace off, getting that quad going, either using E-stim. John's a big fan of BFR, so we do a lot of that as well here, just so we could get that quad strong without really stressing the tendon or ligament there. BFR stands for blood flow restriction, where we'll put it like at the top of your quad. Pretty much like limits blood flow to your quad and therefore limits oxygen to your quad, so you're able to get fatigued a lot faster without putting a lot of weight through it, which means your tendons and your ligaments aren't getting too stressed at that point. And a big thing for me is also like getting walking down right away. My goal for any of the ACLs here is to get their crutches off, get their braces off as fast as possible. So working on that gait, making sure they're walking normally, just because during those first 2 weeks, and John will probably talk about this a little bit later in the podcast, those like first 2 weeks to a month of ACL is just awful. Like you can't walk, you can't do anything. You feel like you're not doing anything you could have done beforehand. So just trying to get them to do as much as possible and try and get them to be a little bit more like in a better mindset and able to do a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. I remember one of the first things that one of the first videos that you did for your Instagram was when John was cleared to get off his crutches. He mic dropped the crutches. Yeah. It's a big feeling. It's a great feeling. Actually, and talking another story, my first time leaving my house after ACL, I actually, not that I broke out of my house, but my friend was like, dude, you need to get out of the house. I never thought that I could get bored of like staying inside and playing video games and not going to school, but it actually like,
it catches up.
Dude, I was like, all right, I'm losing my mind in here. So my buddy actually not broke me out, but I had to do some pretty heavily convincing to my parents to let me go to a Shepherd Oak Lawn basketball game. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even making this up. John goes to Oak Lawn High School. My buddy broke me out. I think I was just able to, they started unlocking my brace, so I was able to bend it a bit. First step I took outside, slid on some ice. Very first step. And I was, at that point, I was like, all right, do I keep going? Do I push through this? Or do I just go back in the house? But I was like, all right, I'm going to go. Shepherd actually beat Oak Lawn in basketball that game.
Well, they haven't beat us in probably 3 to 4 years, maybe more.
It's because I'm not there anymore. So yeah, it's a big feeling when you're like, just little things like that, like not having to use your crutches anymore. I remember it was like every new thing I was doing, it was like, this is a big deal. John, what are some of the like hardest things that you went through? Talk about the grind of going through an ACL injury. I would say going through ACL rehab was some of the most humbling. You start taking more appreciation with a lot of the stuff that like normal stuff, like walking around your house, taking a shower, you know, like things like that.
Yeah. I would say the hardest thing would be probably either the mental side of things or gaining range of motion back. Because the mental side, you go from being at the top, being able to run, jump, cut, everything, to just slam back down into your couch, doing nothing, just sitting there, hopeless. You have to really ask everyone else for help. And then gaining those little things back, it's like baby steps. First you get off the crutches, then you get to start bending your knee when you're walking, then you get to start squatting, it's like getting everything back almost.
Absolutely. Like I remember when I went back to play baseball, I signed to St. Xavier, and 12 hours after I signed to St. Xavier, I had my ACL surgery, and I'm like, dude, I'm playing college baseball, but I can't. My leg's a noodle right now. Like I don't even know how to use my leg anymore. And I remember just being able to, like, the first day being cleared to hit again. I was like, all right, this is so sick. Like I took it for granted. For sure. I was just like in high school, I was like, all right, I can do this for as long as I want. And then it's like you get humbled by the ACL, and then it's like, all right, I will never take this stuff for granted again. Yeah. So yeah, it's very rewarding. It's very humbling, but it's light work. Yeah. As I like to tell all our ACLs, it's just light work. Yeah. It's just a little, it's You'll a bump. Get through it. It's a bump. Yeah. If you will.
Build character a little bit.
I'm going to bounce to Jared now. Jared, me and you and all of our PTs and actually everyone here, we've been using our Vault equipment a lot. It started off with just like assessments, And then we started doing more and more research with it, and now we're starting to use it just every time someone comes in for, therapy. We're not just using the vault equipment for testing purposes. We're using it during our programming. Jared, I'm going to bounce back to you now. We're going to talk about our force plates for a little bit. For the listeners that don't know, we have our vault force plates here. What they are these two plates that athletes or anyone that can step on, and it gives us a reading. It does a multitude of things. We could do jumps on it, squats on it. It's endless. The main thing that we've been using it for, and what the force plates are for, is it kind of gives us our asymmetries in landing force, squatting force, and basically force produced by the lower body. So anytime you're squatting on it, it will give us direct feedback of how different each side of the body is loading. So if I'm squatting on it, it will show how much my left side is loading versus my right side is loading. And it's a big thing that we use early in ACL rehab to show our athletes how much they're loading side to side, because early on, I know for sure I was one that when I was loading, I didn't have the force plates. I'm not a dinosaur, but I wasn't, they didn't have this fun stuff when I was doing my ACL rehab. And I was definitely a compensator on my non-surgical side. So I'm basically asking you, how do you use the force plates in your programming? What does it help you show your patients? What does it help you see in your programming?
First of all, force plates are awesome. Like, they are the best way, in my experience, to show patients how they're loading, how they're doing squatting, how they're doing any of those like functional movements. I think every ACL I've worked with hate them right off the bat, because it shows them that like they're not using their ACL side, and they get a little frustrated with that, which is totally fine. But I think it gives more data compared to me telling them to do things or giving them those like physical or verbal cues. It just shows how they're loading. It also gives them that live feedback so they can make that correction during the set. I use them for squatting, for our trap bar. We use them a lot. I think we do it with counter movement jumps, either double leg or single leg, and it just shows, like, especially for the jumping, shows like their height and how they're loading, especially for double leg as well. When John and I would do them, it would show him that he's loading like 34% more onto his left leg, and as he would get through the set, you could see that number go down because he's making those adjustments. He's making those adjustments in live time. So they're absolutely awesome. We also use the dynamometer for like our knee extension and our hamstring testing, which is also huge. We have a solid program here at Core Sport. I don't think I've ever seen an ACL program anything like this at any other clinic. Yeah. So when we do our testing, it shows like the real progress we make in that.
Every 8 weeks.
Every 8 weeks we test
6 to 8?
Test our ACLs, I think.
Yeah. 6 to 8.
So it just shows, the patient, we're making these milestones, we're hitting these certain improvements, we're getting stronger, and overall, just our technology here is just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I love it.
Our
patients may not love it sometimes, depending on the day, but.
Well, yeah, and I was kind of going to bring it up to you, John.
Trap bar deadlift on the force plates.
Oh, I mean,
it's more of a forearm.
Anyone that's listening to this, anyone that's listening to this, non-listeners, but mainly listeners, that feeling of standing, holding the trap bar, letting it weigh you for 5 minutes, it feels like, is just it's just an arm farm at that point.
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
So you get your arm workout, but it's like, we're supposed to do this for the lower body. That was a big thing, and honestly, shout out to Vald. That was my biggest reason of coming here. Bobby was like, all right, what can you bring to Core Sport? And I was like, dude, I have this sweet technology I know how to use. I don't own these force plates, so you're going to have to buy them for me, but I know how to use them, and I can show you how to use them and how we can use them moving forward. And so that kind of pioneered my time here. And then just the continued research we've been doing on it. I mean, we're starting to look at, super in-depth stuff like with the concentric impulse, for late stage ACL. Like Jared said, it's something that I've never seen. Like I said, I'm not that old, and when I was doing my ACL rehab, like, we didn't really do any of this kind of testing, and just working and seeing other clinics, it's stuff that not a lot of other clinics are doing. So it definitely helps us separate from other clinics. And then John, talking about testing and everything, we went through some good tests. And so John, tell us about like what it's like testing, what it's like having a bad test, what it's like having a good test, what it's like to just keep grinding, work through, some of the bad weeks versus, the overall good weeks.
I mean, some some of the good tests, like you feel like really good after, like obviously you're like, oh man, I'm really like running through, but some of those bad tests really bring you back down to earth real fast. And like you're just slowly, and you have to take it slow. You can't be all up in your head about being like, man, I should have done this better, that better. You can't really, it's how your body feels.
Yeah, for sure. And a big thing, and this is going to bring me into my next topic, a big thing that we see with our ACLs, no matter where the harvest point of the graft is some tendon pain.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing that I've learned here too, that I never really worked on a lot in my prior job, is like isometrics for the tendons. The biggest thing, I think we start every session off with isometrics now for ACLs. I mean, literally
It's
every
almost a
single.
must.
Yeah, and that's not just ACLs. We'll do isometrics for shoulder labrums. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So what one of the main things that ACLs go through, and especially we see with testing a lot of times, is like tendon pain when they're testing, no matter where the harvest point is from. Patellar, quad, even hamstring. Like I remember, testing some hamstring grafts, and when they were doing the knee flexion test, their hammy was kind of bugging.
Yeah.
One of the main things that we do here, overcoming and yielding isometrics. Jared, I was gonna pivot this towards you. We'll start with what isometrics are for people that don't know what isometrics are, and how they work and how they help prep our athletes for not only their session but also testing.
Okay. So an isometric is like a kind of muscle contraction. You pretty much put them at a certain angle and they hold that for 30, 45 seconds. I'm sure whenever John does it, it feels like 10 minutes whenever he's holding there.
Yeah.
But it's just basically stressing that tendon and also getting that muscle ready to do the activities we're going to be doing during the day. We break them up into either like double leg, single leg, modified single leg, just based off of the activities we have planned for them today and the big lifts we have. Going back to like what Nick said for the overcoming and yielding, this is something I think we started maybe 4 months ago.
Yeah.
We just started to like incorporate those kind of things. We've had a big ACL group this past season, so
Yeah, what a squad we had.
I
in
mean,
here.
yeah,
I mean, we still have the squad coming in here, but
yeah,
just
the JCL squad. Though,
JCL.
is,
So
I
yeah,
mean,
those that don't know, we should also bring that up. Jared, when he's working with an ACL patient, is known as JCL.
yeah. And
Jared, the Jared cruciate ligament. So yeah, you
shout
have
out to
a
those
squad.
patients.
Yeah.
Those guys are awesome. But yeah, going back to the overcoming and yielding ISO. An overcoming ISO is where they're going to be fixed at a single point, and they're pretty much pushing through that joint for like 5 to 8 seconds at like almost max effort, 75 to 100% effort. A yielding ISO is where like we would put a band, like just an example, we would put a band like at their ankle and they would kick to a certain degree and then hold for that prolonged period of time. So instead of pushing into something that's not going to move, they're fighting that band and holding that. And usually for a yielding ISO, I have to have them a little bit longer there compared to an overcoming, usually about like 30 to 45 seconds. So when we test John on the dynamometer here, he's just pushing or kicking into it, and his ankle is not moving at all. It's like fixed at that 90 degrees, and that would be classified as an overcoming ISO. But overall, I think that mentorship we went over, though, has been, I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
We did, when John tested, was it 5 months ago? We had that one incident where you had that knee pain. I think it was like January.
I think it was like January.
Yeah, I think he had. So when we test, especially for like our quad tendon patients, we have a couple right now, and they always have like the same complaints. It's like when they kick during that testing, they feel a lot of like pressure and a lot of pain where they took that graft for their ACL, which has been something that we've had to kind of monitor a lot with those patients. But doing a lot of those ISOs, doing a lot of the different variations we do here, has definitely, I think, relieved a lot of that pressure there. I think your last testing, you lit it up. So and you had no pain. So that's also a W.
John, do you want to either confirm or deny Jared's point of how well your tendon felt after doing ISOs?
I can confirm that after doing ISOs, my tendon feels like 100% better. Like some days I'll wake up. Some days I'll wake up and I'll be like, ooh, that's really, really tight today.
Yeah.
And then I'll come in and we'll do the ISOs and $1 million.
Feels like butter. So like a big one for like the quad that we learned from mentorship. And for those that don't know what mentorship is, every Friday, actually today is Friday, we meet for an hour and kind of go over just new research that we've been looking at and gathering together, and we kind of just share the ideas and research that we found with everyone that works here. It's a good way to kind of, it's like our team practice almost.
Yeah.
That's what I related to. It's really cool. It's really helped me learn a bunch from the PTs, learn a bunch from just even the performance side. We have a lot. We have Chris Soroprian, little brother, coming in and he's sharing his ideas in the performance side too. So it's a really good way to get more information that we might not have known a lot about. I've definitely learned a ton of stuff from the mentorship with just ACLs. We do ankle stuff. We do a bunch of different stuff. So it's really helped. But going back on those ISOs, like those yielding ISOs with like the band that we learned kicking out into it, just to really, really get that rec. What do you call it? The RF?
I call it the RF.
Jared likes using abbreviations a lot. So
I like to sound a little smart.
He'll hit me with, hey, I think he's having some RF pain. And I'm like,
right field.
They're having pain in right field. Like, what does that mean, dude? Like, just say what it means. And he's like, oh, rectus femoris. I'm like, dude, I've never heard anyone call it an RF. Like,
yeah, that was probably the first time I ever called it RF.
Yeah,
I don't know why I did. I was just.
And then I'll get on him a little bit about it, and then he gets all sensitive, like I'm chirping him. I'm like, dude, no one knows what RF is except you. So like using that yielding ISO with the kicking into a band, things like that really helps activate that RF rectus femoris, where that. The graft gets harvested from the rectus, right?
Correct. Yeah.
How do you like that, dude? How about Nikki, our SRS, knowing that, dude?
Boy.
And I went to school less than you. No. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good to feel. I'm gonna pivot into kind of some of the like middle to late stage rehab. What are some of the things that you kind of work on moving forward? So you got the extension back. You're crossing you're checking all the boxes month, week 0 to week 24. What are some of the things that you guys started doing later? Sometimes, the quad comes back really quick, and then the hamstring's lacking, or vice versa, things like that. What are some of the like middle to late stage things that you guys were doing and moving on and working on recently?
Yeah. So based off of his knee extension testing or his quad testing, I think we break it up where if they get about like 50% LSI, which stands for like limb symmetry index. So it's looking at if comparing his ACL quad to his normal quad, if his ACL quad is like about 50% strength, we start like our force absorption. So it's a lot of like landing mechanics, some small jumps, a lot of pogos.
Lot of pogos.
Yeah, a lot of pogos. I mean, if you see John doing his dynamic, he's already gassed after doing all.
If you don't need a sip of water after your dynamic warm up, you're not warmed up enough.
Yeah,
I want that on a t-shirt. I'm wearing a t-shirt soon because I'll see. Sometimes people get done with their dynamic and they're like, I'm good. I'm like, you're not good yet. Let's go in the alley and sprint.
Yeah. So going back to like those force absorptions, just making sure like he's loading through that knee, he's able to absorb the impact at his knee, and doing a lot of like depth drops, snap downs, doing a lot of stuff like that. And then usually when they get to that 70% LSI, that's when we could really get into more of the fun stuff. We're doing box jumps. We're doing that return to jog program. We're doing a lot more like velocity based stuff as well. And then kind of getting into like the very later stages. That's usually when everyone's seeing Nick at that 90% LSI. The closer.
Mariano Rivera of ACL.
They were working on like a lot of sprinting, getting back to sport. If you guys follow us on our core sport Instagram, you'll probably see like Chris posts all of the stuff he does with our later ACLs right now, and they're doing into a lot of their like single leg movements, a lot of lateral movements as well, a lot of sprint, a lot of power focus stuff, and just getting them back to like that last 10%.
Yeah,
which everyone says is more fun compared to the first 2 months.
Oh, once you get off the table, it's the best feeling in the world.
I mean,
you start rolling. Yeah. John, a question for you now. How has core sport been different than any other rehab that you've been to, any other places that you've been to? What made you buy in here? What made you keep coming back? Obviously, you had external components like getting back. You're playing college baseball next year.
Yeah.
What made core sport like, all right, I'm sticking through this whole thing with core sport?
Probably the mentorship, like Jared, Nick, having you guys all the way around, the banter, the fun things, like the friendly banter,
Yeah, I don't know.
You
About
know.
it's,
chirping a little bit,
yeah.
especially Jared.
I think it's more Nick than anything, but
I definitely brought the culture here. We talked about that in the first episode about how, but like I said, that's how you say I love you in the South Side of Chicago. What are some of the things that you and Jared worked on? Like, what's some of the like cues, things that really brought you guys? So cues are a big thing we tell someone when, all right, say we need someone to get deeper in a squat or it's like, all right, think about feeling this here. Like cues are like, all right, when I'm doing pogos, I always say like, hey, think about slapping the ground with your foot, or slapping the ground with
Great
your feet.
cue.
Yeah,
Great cue.
It's a phenomenal cue. You
It's
got to
awesome.
know how to cue to be in this work field. What are some of the cues and some of the things that you guys worked on together?
John, I'm gonna let you take that one. That's you
can
want
take
me to
that,
do it?
yeah.
I can't say it with a straight face right now.
Don't look into the camera.
Don't. I think the number one cue that has worked with John is just telling us. So that's just been, yeah, that's been like the.
Can
probably
you
the number
elaborate?
one
Let's
cue.
expand on.
I mean, that's a great question. When we were squatting, I think it was on our vol equipment. He was very forward. He wouldn't really deeper knee flexion. Mm-hmm. So I was like, John, just think.
I think the first time you said it, you said sitting on a chair. Let's clear there.
Yeah, sorry, chair, toilet. I mean, I think comparing the rep before I said it and the rep after, I mean, monumental.
Yeah, I mean that's
it's
what
just,
cues are. That's why we use the cues. Like you
Yeah.
can't just be like, hey, do a squat and then just
Yeah.
stand there and watch them.
No, if you see John and I in the clinic and we're just dying laughing, probably like on like almost all fours at some point when
That might be
when we dropped it, we probably said that.
15%.
Yeah.
Session.
Yeah.
John, would you say that Jared's cue of telling you to has really changed your perspective
Yeah,
of?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's really gotten me into that knee deep.
It also
or
helps with that
deep
deep core
flexion.
activation too. from
Wow,
all the
now we're
laughing.
talking core.
Yeah,
Look at you.
yeah, gets the core going from all the laughing, and then he's able to like
It does. It does.
create that stable pillar.
Yeah, no, cues are a big thing that we use here. You know,
Yeah.
people compensate, especially with ACLs too. I was a
Yeah.
compensator. I compensated different ways because I was a baby about loading into my knee.
Yeah.
So having those correct cues, those things that stick with your mental, it does help.
Yeah.
Whether it be a more traditional cue or something that just you got to find what works for your guy.
Absolutely. I mean, I have 3 other ACLs right now, and if I told any of them that, they would probably be like, "Nope, I'm just gonna."
Yep,
It wouldn't work.
So John, not wrapping up yet, but when talk to us about where you are right now. How are you doing right now? I don't want to spoil anything, but I know he's back. Where are you at right now with your rehab? Where are you at right now with your athletic career? Where are you at with everything going on after grinding it out ACL with Jared and I?
Well, funny thing is, this is, I think, the start of month 7
Seven.
since surgery.
Yeah.
So today is 7 months exactly. And I can't.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Big milestone.
But I also, earlier this baseball season, when we played at Wrigley Field, got my first inning back, and then throughout the season, broke the career wins record at Oaklawn.
Wow,
There
dude.
you
Come
go.
on.
So,
Big time.
yeah, but now we're in the hunt for a conference championship. Got
Okay.
Oak Forest today, and then Travis Monday, Tuesday.
I'm going to talk about Oak Forest. I'm going to shout out my buddy, Trev Hauser. He's one of the coaches he's a good kid. Played baseball with him at St. Xavier. I'll tell him he's screwed because John's coming. John's on his way. And then you just recently got done with prom. You were able to do the stanky leg and the jerk and all that at prom. Do you want to talk about your prom dancing and experiences with us a little bit?
I mean, I had 2 proms because my girlfriend goes to Andrew. So,
Shout out girlfriend.
Yep.
yeah, she also, funny story, also tore her ACL.
No
Yeah.
way. I did hear about that. Where's she at? Why is she not here?
She is somewhere through her doctor, and also she's on Tinley Park. So
Tinley Park. Shout out Tinley Park. Beautiful. It's basically the. I like to compare it to the Vegas Strip of the southwest suburbs.
I can confirm that.
Yeah, you've been.
I agree.
Jared's done a couple times there.
Yeah.
It's a good time. It's
More in the future.
it's a beautiful establishment.
Great town.
John, I just want to bring this up for the listeners. Can we talk about not only how you had to grind through, learning and doing dancing at prom, but also let's talk a little bit about your dinner situation.
I didn't hear about this.
Oh, dude, you didn't hear about
No,
this?
I didn't hear about it.
This
Oh,
is
boy.
great. This is great.
All right.
Oh boy. So at Oaklawn's prom, when we went to go get food, there was some steak there, and didn't cut it up enough. And truth be told, got stuck right in my throat.
Jeez.
And had a piece of steak, and I rallied through it for the whole
You had a
rest
piece of
prom.
steak stuck in your throat the entire prom.
Yes, pretty much.
That is insane.
And then after prom, came home, went to the ER.
No.
You grinded through how long? And I know this is about, we're talking, like I said, it's an educational but light podcast. We're going to focus on this for a little bit.
Yeah.
You went through an entire prom. So when was dinner served?
Probably like 7:38,
7. What time did prom start?
7,
7. So and then
Okay.
what time did prom end?
11.
11 o'clock. So you went like 2.5, 3 hours with
Yeah.
a piece of meat stuck in your throat.
Yeah.
That's
Could you breathe fine?
Yeah, I could breathe.
Were you dancing still?
Yeah, I was still on the dance floor.
What a rally.
yeah. I mean, talk about persevering right there.
And that, would you say that some of that, like grinding through it, you really learned that from going through ACL?
You just
Not only did we make you grind through an ACL injury and put your head down and just get after it, you took the lessons that you learned from that ACL into prom with a piece of steak stuck in your throat.
That's not even the best part of the story. Is we had prom house the next morning. Got out of the ER at 5 in the morning. Slept for 3 hours. Was on the road to the prom house by 10 in the morning.
That's dedication.
Yeah, you're never going to miss the
Yeah.
prom house.
No,
we
you
had
can't
so
miss
much fun
that.
at our prom house. We went back the
Same.
following year.
Really?
Oh, yeah, we double dipped.
Oh.
Yeah, we
Dang.
double dipped. It was and arguably the second year was, prom houses are for board games, hanging
Yes.
out,
Yeah.
exchanging high school
Campfires.
stories,
Yeah.
things of that nature.
Yeah.
Just
Chilling.
really hanging out with the seniors because it's the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. I think we played chess, we played checkers.
Big Monopoly
Sports.
at mine.
Wii Sports, that's a big one.
Ooh, okay.
So the steak was out of the throat by prom house.
Yeah, I threw it up bad.
You got to clear the
threw
airways.
it- okay.
Yeah. Oh, you
Okay.
puked it out.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah, okay.
Murphy.
I do have a question though. Like, how'd you get your steak cooked?
It wasn't cooked to order.
Oh, they gave it one way.
Yeah.
You're really going to bring up steak right now, the way
I mean-
cooking steak. So Jared and I, again, we're no relevance to we're
No,
just going to
not
keep
at all,
talking.
no.
This is just for talking purposes. This is more the light side of the podcast.
Yeah.
Jared puts his steaks on the and now that Jared's sister works here with our marketing team, I can kind of confirm it with her. Jared apparently puts his steaks on the grill for 30 seconds each
45.
side.
45.
Oh, now it went up to 45.
My dad said 45.
Daddy says.
All right.
45
Dad, please don't
seconds.
listen to
Emily,
this
is that
podcast.
true? 45 seconds?
I mean,
It's not
like,
cooked.
it is cooked.
It's blue.
It's cooked.
No, that's
It's.
diabolical.
I mean, you want it
still
mooing.
mooing.
We want
you
it
should have
mooing.
ate a piece of Jared's steak. It would have made you puke earlier than when grinding out. I mean, that's insane. 30 seconds each side.
I want
Or 45 now.
mooing.
Next week it'll be a minute. I already know.
No,
It's just going to keep
no,
going up.
no,
There's
no.
no way.
Yeah,
John, how do you like your steak cooked?
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
that's just a little too cooked. That's just
A little too cooked.
that's just a little too cooked.
And you want yours just raw?
Blue.
Raw?
Not blue.
What's that called? Tartar?
Oh, phenomenal.
That's insane.
Phenomenal.
That's why you come in Monday. This guy will go out on dates. He's like, yeah, I just went on a date. Come in the next day, and his stomach is killing him. The sushi.
That one day was bad.
well,
That
yeah,
one
you
day
ate
was
100
bad.
pieces of sushi.
Yeah, and I trap bar deadlift.
And then,
That-
yeah.
that 8 hours later.
And then
Yeah.
dude, CJ has the picture of you laying on the old
Oh,
knee
does he
extension.
actually?
Yeah, feet up like this, like you were laying on
Oh,
your back,
man.
feet up. You would have thought. I don't know how I grinded through an 8 hours. I mean, we were here till 8 that night, weren't we? It
Yeah.
was a
yeah.
later night.
Yeah. That was a tough day.
That's a rally right
Almost.
Yeah, you want to talk about rallying?
I mean.
My last question is, John, what would you tell a listener or someone that's going through ACL? How would you recommend core sports? And basically sell
Yeah.
sell it.
Yeah. Or glaze, as some would say.
Oh, glaze.
Glaze,
Yeah,
yes.
that's the good
That's
word. Yeah.
that's the word now.
there. But I would say I recommend Core Sport is a great place. Everyone's professional here. You still have fun, even though it's a very it's a very close-knit environment. Everyone like has each other's backs. Everyone's talking to somebody. Like you're laughing in between sets, but during your sets, you're really locked in, getting the work in.
Between sets. That's right. There you go. There you go.
We didn't pay him to say that either.
Yeah.
You're not getting any money from this. Anyway,
Yeah, sorry. That's just not the
Unless
budget.
it blows up and we get a sponsorship by C. I also feel like I got a Yeti of water here, and you guys are drilling caffeine.
I mean, yeah, that's just
When am I not? That's
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything here is just really awesome. The technology here is awesome.
Yeah.
People here are awesome.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jared sometimes.
That's
Jared's
crazy.
great. No,
That's crazy.
Jared really is.
It's because he's just upset I made him do a lot of core the first 2 weeks he was here.
That was so fun.
It was a good time.
He didn't like BFR arm farm either. So
I did like that. I love BFR.
Jared, what? And then going to you, what would you tell someone that's listening, going through ACL, or knowing someone that's going through ACL or anything, going through any type of rehab? Why would you tell someone to come here and work with us?
I think we just kind of separate ourselves a lot compared to most clinics, not to call out any clinic in general, but we do things a lot, in my opinion, a lot better. We're one-on-one for the whole hour too, which is awesome. You don't really see that at most places.
No.
And we just generally keep up to date with like a lot of the research we do. We are always meeting. When I first started as a PT, the meetings that I would have with Bobby with like all the ACLs, kind of like I said earlier in the podcast last season, we had a big group come out. So him and I met a lot, and we did a lot of research. He was able to fill me in on his experiences, how I could adapt based off of how John would be feeling or how the other ACLs would be feeling. And we just, again, going back to like our technology is awesome. It reteaches them and gives better information than anything that the PTs or Nick and I would say. And yeah, it's a tough process. But if you were to come here, which I do heavily suggest, not to plug us even more, but we do things the right way. We're here for the whole hour. And I think you get, along with that one-on-one experience, I mean, you just can't beat that at most places.
Would you agree, John?
I would agree.
Thank you.
Concur.
Again, didn't pay him to say that.
No.
I would also agree. It's just, I talked about it a lot. I kept saying we should have a special counter for the amount of times I said special on the first episode. I was like, all right, core sport and core is just special. And I'm just going to bring it back again today and just say like, it's special here. We're booming. We're moving. We're actually we didn't even bring it up. We do videos. The first video, we were at Core Fitness in a back room.
Yeah.
Now we're in our expansion.
Yeah.
I mean, we're expanding. If
Growing a
I don't know
lot.
if they can see in the video, but you can also say like, I feel like every time you come in here, something's different. Like we're just adding something every single time. We talk about a lot. I talked about this last week too, was if you take like a month off of course sport, come here, something will be different.
Yeah. 100%. If you take 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
I mean,
something will be moved
maybe
around.
even a week.
Something will be moved around. There might be a new person here. We got 2 new people.
Yep.
There might be
Add
new
to the
people
staff.
here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You took a while
that-
to
I mean, I-
process that. You are one of the smartest guys I know, but also just one of the most unbelievable people I know. Like you're a movie character. I'm not kidding. Like you are unbelievable.
Definition of book smart.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a good
I
way
mean,
to put it. You're learning some streets.
Yeah.
You're
You
definitely
know?
not from the streets though.
No, I mean, I grew up in Woodridge, so.
You have
You
have an archway to get into your house.
No, we don't have an archway in our house. No. I grew up in Woodridge,
We grew up on Pappy's. You grew up on Benihana's.
I've never been to a Benihana. No, Panda.
That's pretty
Wendy's.
luxurious. That's luxurious
That's
fast
luxury.
food.
No, it's not.
Panda's expensive, man.
Since
It's
when?
not like Pappy's or a Rosie's, for example.
Oh, Rosie's.
Yeah.
My God.
You can't beat Pappy's, though.
Pappy's is next level.
please
Shout out
sponsor-
Pappy's.
Please
Sponsor.
Please sponsor. That would be sick.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'll take a buffalo chicken wrap from there any day.
Yeah, they're fire. All right, just wrapping up here. Something that I did last episode, and I'm going to do every single episode,
Ooh, okay.
is who we're buying stock in. We talk about stock all the time here, and
Okay.
not actual stock, like people who we're buying stock in.
Okay.
So last week, not to toot my own horn, I put everything I own into Liam Broderick, and he hit 3 home runs last week. So
No way.
I'm basically financially free right now.
I mean, yeah.
If it was actual money, I am financially stable right now, so that's good. But Who, and I'll ask you, John, it could be literally anyone. You can literally say, like,
That's a tough question.
you know, someone playing in the PGA Championship this week. You could say, you know, Tiger Woods.
Oh,
Or you could say anyone.
do I have to say patient?
You could say anyone you want. It can
Anyone.
it could be your sister, honestly.
No. Okay, John, go first.
All right, I'm gonna have to go with one of my guys. I'm gonna have to go with Jack Dempsey. Need a big week out of him.
Jack Dempsey. Give us a little background. What does he need?
He needs. I mean, got a big conference schedule coming up for baseball, conference championship in the sites. So we need him. Lockdown defense, center field. Maybe
Big center fielder.
couple 2-tree bombs.
Yeah, that would always help. Bombs always help. What Jared, you got to think of someone. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah,
All right.
you go first.
I call this guy K1. He comes in. It's gonna inflate his ego so much. So the guy that I'm buying stock in is actually who I'm presenting my mentorship stuff on today. It's definitely gonna inflate his ego big time. But our K1 BB, Big Briggs, older Briggs, Big brother Briggs.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
K1, he came in. He's been absolutely working his tail off. He has, not many kickers in this world. We get a lot of like linebackers. We get a lot of like skill position players. Not that kicking's not a skill position. I feel like every position on the football field is a skill position. I mean,
yeah.
You were an offensive lineman, right?
No.
You got hands like one. I'll tell you that.
No.
You got the hardest hands,
dude.
When I throw a football at Jared, it echoes when he catches it. And our football is deflated. Our football is deflated, and it sounds like I'm throwing a rock at him.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy is working his tail off. He just last month he had his first kicking showcase, and he PR'd. He hit a 53-yarder field goal, and he actually got ranked a 4-star kicker for his class. He's only a sophomore right now, so.
Okay.
I'm going to sell some of my Broderick shares and, put it into him. Hopefully I get a good, the return's going to be up. It's kind of like investing in the S&P 500. It never really goes down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, he's been working his tail off. He comes in every week. I have noticed, and just to chirp him a little bit, because that's what we like to do here. He has come, ever since he's gotten those stars, he has come in a little bit more like, diva-ish, if you will. Oh my gosh, yes, sir. You would have thought his quads were falling off his legs.
Yeah.
He's like, Nick, my leg.
Yeah.
And I had to,
He foam rolls a lot longer now.
he loves the foam rolling.
He loves that
He
thing.
loves foam rolling, and he loves massage gunning, and he loves the idea of me being able to cup, too. He's really taking advantage of the
I
cupping.
bet.
Yeah,
He loves that.
He's a big quad guy. Don't sleep on the hamstrings, though.
No.
Don't sleep on the hamstrings.
Most athletic muscle of the body?
Yeah, I'll die on that.
Okay.
Most athletic muscle group in the body, easily. You want to be a good athlete, train your hamstrings.
No, I agree.
That means a lot.
Yeah. No.
All right, who's your stock?
I'm just going to say John.
Wow, that's feel-good stuff there.
I'm going to be John. I'm going to say John.
I like the pat on the back, too.
Yeah,
We'll clip that.
I know, right? A little positive reinforcement there, a little bit. Yeah, I've been working with him, I think September flies by.
Yeah.
I think one thing John and I say consistently in our sessions is that 1 hour, like when we look at our watch or we look at the clock we have in the clinic, we're like,
flies.
Wow, it's been 35 minutes already.
Yeah, I'm like, John. John, we just finished like the force absorption stuff.
Yeah.
Here's all the supersets that I was supposed to do with you, but your session just
No. Yeah.
Like John's here for an hour and a half, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
you're definitely finishing with BFR. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, no, it's not an option. No, it's been an awesome experience. It all works out. I was like, it's been an awesome experience.
That has been.
Are you choking up?
No, I'm not choking up. No, I would
too
never.
sexy?
I would never. No.
I thought Bobby was
I
gonna
don't-
cry in the last podcast. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, how did we get here? Like
Yeah.
this is like professional but light, not professional and sad.
Yeah,
It is. And John,
It's been an honor.
It's been dope working with you, especially.
Yeah.
I know sometimes you like to, you are the busiest 18-year-old apparently. You're 17? No, you're 18.
18.
Yeah, you're a
Some of
grown
the other JCLs are just busy nonstop.
Oh, high schoolers nowadays are the busiest
mean,
people in the world.
Yeah, I mean,
my gosh.
One of them can only come in one time a week, and it's like at a specific time. I'm like, wow.
I'm gonna. I hope he's listening. He'll listen to this. But our coworker and patient that works here, he comes in quarterly, once a quarter.
I mean,
it's like, dude, can you come in more? I would like to.
First JCL actually.
Was he first
He
JCL?
was my first JCL. Yeah, one of first to 5.
He came in. We started doing the
First to 6.
ISO. We started doing our ISO phase. He was having tendon pain. Started doing his ISO phase of his mesocycle. And his pain went away, and I never saw him again. Well, I do see him. I see him. He works.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, he works here.
So I do see him, but I see coworker guy, not patient guy. He did come in yesterday. It was really nice to see him.
Yeah.
It's like Santa Claus. It comes once a year. So it's been cool. It's been great working with you. I know we've had some of the sessions when I'm not working with you, I still feel like I'm working with you because it's like you could be at one end of the clinic. I'll be at the other end of the clinic. I'll turn over. I'll see both you guys staring and laughing.
I mean,
I'm like, I don't even know.
You'll hear John and I from across the room.
Well, yeah, I hear you guys.
Without
but then
a
when
doubt.
you're looking at me too, I'm like, what the hell are they talking about?
All
And
good things. All good things.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All positive.
Yes. Never
You
negative.
do that a lot too. And like when me and Alice were sitting on the couch the other day, we were actually hyping you up. You're like, oh, you're talking a lot over there, Nick.
I'm just so used to. I'm used to the chirps now. It's just.
I don't know if they're necessarily
On guard.
always chirps.
On guard. No.
It is.
I'm kidding.
All right. I think we're good to wrap it up there, guys.
Cool.
I want to thank Jared. I want to thank John for being here. Thank you for being our second guest and our first patient on. First patient on Between Sets.
It's an honor.
Thank you again to John and Jared for being here. Thank you guys for caffeinating up and grinding.
Of course.
Coming early. John, thank you so much for coming early. I know 9 o'clock can be early for some of you high schoolers.
It's not
Almost
really
all
at
of them.
Almost all of them. Almost all of them. Summer hours are coming soon, so get used to those 8 and 9 o'clock appointments.
Yep.
Everyone. I can't wait. Thank you guys for listening. We got a lot more coming up. We are excited to roll out with the talent that we have to come in here, and we're just gonna keep throwing curveballs with patience. And so thank you guys all for listening. Stay tuned. We're gonna be rolling in these things out. It's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun doing it. Nothing like sitting down for a couple of minutes or an hour talking, shooting the crap with your homies, and it's definitely a lot easier when it's not your two bosses sitting next to you talking to them. It's definitely a little looser.
I would have been sweating there for sure.
Yeah, I fear God. That's it. All right, thank you guys for listening. We will see you soon.